Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. I hate everything about being fat. Today was my last straw. I woke up and felt hungry, but didn't want to eat, so I could have more calories later. Went to the gym and got so many looks. A couple of stares, including a girl I previously talked to who noticed the significant weight gain. Tried to go shopping for new clothes since I've been wearing the same 5 things for the last 2 years. I realized I'm too big for an XL, but too small for a double XL. Nothing fit. Ended up buying a large t-shirt that I'll save for when I finally do lose the weight, which I've been doing for years now. And then went out to dinner with family and received some ugly comments about what I was eating, despite us being at a restaurant. Why is being fat the hardest thing ever? Why do I receive so much hate and judgment for something I hate myself? Why is being fat in the gym so taboo? How else am I supposed to lose the weight if I can't use the proper equipment? Why are there never clothes that can hide the fat and look good on me? Why take me to a restaurant if you don't like the idea of me eating anything other than a salad? Why even talk to me then? Just wanted to vent that out. I can't wait until this prison sentence is over. Sorry for anyone that may have got offended. These are just my personal experiences and a bit of insecurity talking. For me personally, sustainable weight loss, I lost 50% of my body weight, didn't happen until I was happy with myself. I basically forced myself to love myself where I was. If I got looks or comments, I just smiled and loved myself despite them. I found clothes that fit me and made me feel good. The more I love myself and the more I put myself out into the world to walk and run and just be present, the more I wanted to take good care of myself with nourishing food and exercise. That was when I finally started losing the weight. I didn't count calories. I didn't punish myself with exercise. I didn't put pressure on myself. I sincerely hope you're able to find some things to wear that make you feel amazing and let your own voice to yourself be louder than what anyone else is saying to you. Be kind to yourself every day, especially if others are not, and I hope that you find some peace. I can relate to all of this. One of my worst moments was at a lake near my place. I got out of the water and a little girl, she can't have been older than 5, started pointing at me and laughing forcefully. I wish I was making this up. I just stood there, lol. I couldn't muster anything to respond. Her parents did apologize, but still, that really sucked. I'm so sorry. Kids can be so mean without even realizing. I have a 4-year-old, and we never talk about anyone else's body, but he still managed to ask me very loudly about a stranger. "Mommy, why is he so big?" And I just about died. I said something to him along the lines of, "We don't talk about other people's bodies," and apologized to the man, but the damage was already done. I always chuckle at the idea of needing to eat a salad. Salads are not inherently healthy. I made a salad the other day that was 1,200 calories. Add to the fact that they usually come covered in cheese and or bacon, floating in high-calorie, high-fat dressings, and on a bed of iceberg lettuce, which offers little to no nutritional value. And the idea that someone needs to eat a salad really becomes quite laughable and revealing that the general public doesn't have the first clue about healthy eating. I know it's easier said than done, but try not to concern yourself with others' comments and looks. People will judge you regardless of how you look. In a couple of years, when you're where you want to be, they will still be hating and judging. They'll just find a different reason. But frankly, it says more about their character than yours. Everything you just described is valid. That said, here's the important thing you gotta know, original poster. Because it's really important and you probably won't believe me anyway until you experience it yourself. The fat is not what is making you unhappy. It sucks being fat and everything you just vented about is real. I'm not trying to discount that. But things that happen to us and stuff that we think isn't actually what makes us feel the way we do. That's why it's possible for someone to stop being depressed just by taking pills, or doing strange mindfulness exercises from online, rather than getting a promotion or having more friends. What I'm trying to say is that these feelings won't go away even if you wake up 50 pounds lighter tomorrow. They will just change. It will become a pain about how people treat you badly, or are suddenly way too nice and that feels fake. Or you look great in the mirror until you remove your clothes and see the sagging skin, and suddenly that's a catastrophe, even though the person you always wanted to see clothed is finally looking at you in that mirror. My point is, lose the weight if you want to be that skinnier person, but seek psychological help if you want to be a happier person. Happiness comes from an attitude of gratitude and kindness to self and others. If you are double XL, you don't need to work out yet if you want to avoid the stairs. You can just go for walks and just eat less. Eating less will always be the way lower. Gym is for strength gain. Intensity allows you to up your calories if your daily intake is too low to feel comfortable with. Personally, 1,500 calories is my daily value to eat to stay in the 1 to 2 pound a week loss range. If that's too hard, you can work out and eat more. But slow and steady weight loss is better for skin elasticity. Loose skin, even at a healthy weight, will also get you stairs. It's all about what you are comfortable with. 52 to 102 pounds lost in a year isn't bad though, to make sure excess skin isn't an issue. And staying with the diet that long is a really good habit that will let you maintain your weight loss. I hate to be that guy, but do you hate it enough to do something about it? 2 things. If you're uncomfortable in that gym, find another one. I used to go to a gym that was very inclusive because true gym fans understand that you need to use a gym to improve. Sadly, too many gyms tolerate bad behavior from a minority, and often those people are pretty insecure themselves. Secondly, I guarantee you are drinking lots of soda and coffee with a ton of syrup added. Try this, but it's tough. Only drink water for a week. Without any doubt, you will feel better. It's a week. What have you got to lose? If people had been mean to me about my weight, I don't know how it would have affected me. Sometimes I think I would have started to fix things earlier. At other times, I think it might have also made me spiral into even worse territory. As it was, I just got the sorry and smug looks, like the sister-in-law who would always insist on talking weight and diet with another sister-in-law while I was sitting there at the table with them. Unlike you, one of my problems was not being able to eat in front of other people, so I'd sit there with my salad, picking at it, the plate inches from where my gut always hit the table. Crazy thing is, I only started to lose the weight when I stopped hanging around all those people who used to steal glances at parts of my body and make me feel so bad. Like, I told them all I had to go away and work my issues, and I wouldn't be seeing them for a while. And that's when the weight started to come off, when I didn't have to feel so awful all the time and could start to vaguely see something different in the future. Not because anyone had necessarily done anything to me, but because I could just no longer live with feeling so horrible about myself. Hanging out with people was like being forced to drag a 100-pound mirror around, and I hated it. I didn't join a gym. I did buy a Fitbit and committed to 10,000 steps on most days. I stopped buying food in the frozen section except for baked vegetables. I put my deep fryer away and used an air fryer. I put the mayonnaise jar at the back of the fridge and the yellow mustard to the front. I had all my groceries delivered, so I was not shopping with eyes and nose and my empty stomach. In my fridge, I kept things like hard-boiled eggs, apples, cheese sticks, dark multigrain bread, rotisserie chicken, sliced turkey, ham and cheese, brown ground beef, and packages of deli chicken breast strips. If you know you're going to sometimes throw food into your mouth for no good reason, at least make it good, nutritional food. Maybe once a day, I will have something rib-sticking, like an English muffin with chunky peanut butter, a light turkey sausage, egg white, and cheese breakfast sandwich. One of my kids brought home a free graduation pizza the other day, and I had a slice. I ate it with small bites. The key is to make good choices most of the time. No one can be perfect, and especially not forever, which is how we have to make our changes. It took me around 4 years to lose 90 pounds, the last 55 in the 4th year. I've been maintaining now for 18 months at a size 12, and the maintenance is almost as hard as the dieting because you have to learn how many small privileges you can give yourself without letting yourself tip over into the old ways. Anyone pointing out what's on your food plate is working out their own issues with food and making a power play by highlighting your choices. That's not a good friend. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. Face gains. I was approximately 220 to 230 pounds on the left. I was scared of the scale back then, and the right was taken a minute ago when I weighed in at 171. So psyched. I tried to take this as straight on as possible. I'm 23 and 5'3", 36 more pounds to go, but I've got this.